grew up not too far from here in my Haven projects in a single parent household. I went to public school across the street from my apartment building and had wonderful teachers. It was sort of news to me at some point that we were poor, but I think the identity that fit me best growing up was that I was the A student. I was the kid who got the best grades, and I had the opportunity to be identified by my teachers and guidance counselors at PS 49 to apply to Prep for Prep.
My parents were born in Puerto Rico. My dad was a draftee, served in the military in the early 1970s. My mom graduated from high school, started working right away. They worked a lot. They brought their lunch to work, they scrimped and saved for me and my older sister. I actually don't know if anyone from Prep knows that, but my dentist said to my parents, you should look into this program. He's doing well in school, maybe you should consider it. My teachers also said a similar thing early on. I was in 5th grade, I didn't have much else to do with my time, so I figured I'd apply to Prep.
I grew up in Brooklyn, in Canarsie, which is predominantly Caribbean families. Prep for Prep has definitely been the foundation of my educational as well as my personal life. My husband is Gerald Taylor. Initially, I met him in elementary school in the 3rd grade, but we actually stayed together through Prep, where he was also in my contingent. I have a younger sister who is 2 years younger, and then another sister who is 9 years younger, both of which have attended Prep, and then also followed suit at Poly Prep.
Prep for Prep was extraordinary in so many ways. There was a real focus, and there continues today to be a real focus on community, in a sense of being a part of a culture that is organized around a critical set of values. And that was my first experience in a school setting where anyone was asking me to think about and talk about and work on what kind of person am I? So not just what kind of grade can I get on a test, but who am I? What really matters to me? That kind of focused inquiry is an extraordinary thing for anyone to think that 10 or 11-year-olds should do, could do.
I think about the words they pounded into our heads constantly when I was 11 years old, and that was excellence, integrity, commitment, and courage. There's no question that Prep kicked open so many doors for me. Prep could have taken me as an 11-year-old, prepared me to go to Horace Mann, and that could have been the end of it. But it didn't end there. It continued through middle school, continued through high school, continued through college, and it even continues today through the friends I have, through the community that I have through Prep alumni, through people who work at the organization now. Prep's continued involvement in my life informs my desire to give back because they show the importance of following through.
Mi nombre es Tomás. Soy un estudiante.
I'm in a clinic that's called Legal Services for Immigrant Communities. Potential clients visit us at the community organization. We hear out their legal problems, and whatever situation that they present to us, we're their lawyers.
Anthony, how are you doing? Good. You feeling okay? What Prep really instilled is building of a family. I participated in the student government, eventually became student body president, and was ultimately awarded the Poly Cup, which is for the student that stands for most. Interestingly enough, my sisters also obtained the same award when they were seniors. It's definitely a tribute to my parents who have put a lot into our education and our upbringing, but I also attributed it to Prep for allowing us the opportunity to be leaders in our own community.
Having multiple degrees from Ivy League institutions, I could have done lots of things, but I know that changing individual lives will be the most important work I could possibly be doing. I think a critical aspect of my leadership style is focusing on the growth and development of leaders around me.
It shouldn't be the case that I need to have all these extraordinary things happen to me for me to have these special opportunities that I've been able to have. I think there's something systemically wrong with that. And because it's a systemic issue, that's what draws me to law. Giving back in its most meaningful way involves really making a connection with what it is that you care about. And prep made that commitment to me going back 13 years now.
As chief resident, it's my responsibility to sit with residents, teach them how to be good doctors, to know how to interact and relate to the patients, and really give them enough knowledge so that they can then complete their training program. Hi. One of the biggest pushes for me to stay here in an institution that doesn't have as many minority faculty is really a patient that I had. It was a young man who had HIV and didn't know it. The few things that I was able to provide for him, like braiding his hair every day when his family wasn't here, made his last few days, I think, special for him. To have somebody who understood a little bit more about his culture and what he was going through, it was important for me to be a figure for him and other children like him in the medical setting. Hi.
I remember hearing a lot about having a responsibility, about coming from a situation where people have to help each other out, where we have an extraordinary opportunity to go to the schools that we get to go to take advantage of a very special education. And you got to do something with that.
I don't think that you can really be a true prep success without giving something back.
Having an opportunity to meet incredible people who see themselves as leaders who think seriously about the impact that they're having on the world, and being able to count myself amongst them tells me unequivocally that this is the way to, as Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change in the world that you want to see.